The Republican National Committee on Friday detailed the criteria candidates will need to satisfy to qualify for the first presidential primary debate in August, including polling requirements and a pledge to support the eventual nominee. The first primary debate will take place August 23rd in Milwaukee, the party said, and the second debate will be August 24th at the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library in California, if enough candidates qualify to make it necessary. The first debate is scheduled to be broadcast by Fox News, while the broadcaster for the second hasn't been announced. The RNC is committed to putting on a fair, neutral, and transparent primary process, and the qualifying criteria set forth will put our party and eventual nominee in the best position to take back the White House come November 2024. Chairwoman Ronna McDaniel said in a statement. To qualify for the first debate, candidates will have to be polling at a minimum of 1% in at least 3 national polls, or 1% in 2 national polls and 1 early state poll from 2 of Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, and South Carolina. The RNC will recognize polls only if they survey at least 800 registered likely Republican voters on or after July 1st. The polls cannot be conducted by a polling firm affiliated with a candidate. Candidates also must satisfy a fundraising requirement, having a minimum of 40,000 unique donors and at least 200 unique donors from 20 or more states and territories. Perhaps the thorniest issue for the RNC and some candidates is that the party will require those participating in the debate to sign a loyalty pledge agreeing to support the eventual party nominee. Some critics have questioned the enforceability of the pledge to support the eventual nominee. The party will also require candidates to commit to a data sharing agreement and pledge not to participate in any debate the RNC has not sanctioned. Former President Donald Trump, who is leading the majority of national polls, the primary field, has already threatened to skip the first 2 debates. At the first primary debate in 2016, he refused to commit to backing the eventual nominee if it was not him. Trump has taken issue with Fox News hosting the first debate and has complained that Fred Ryan, publisher of the Washington Post, is chairman of the board of trustees at the Reagan Library. The GOP primary field is steadily taking shape roughly 3 months before the first debate. Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Senator Tim Scott, and former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley are among the candidates already in the race. Former Vice President Mike Pence and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie are expected to announce their candidacies next week. And New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu has said he will decide on the 2024 bid in the coming weeks. So I would say it's kind of funny. I talk about the Republicans and how screwed up they are, but it's been argued for a while now that they actually have a much more fair primary process than the Democrats. And, I mean, heck, they're at least offering to host debates, unlike the crooked DNC trying to save face for their 80-something-year-old candidate that they're so confident can win a general election, but they're a little scared about that primary. So the thing that instantly stands out to me is kind of like strange, is where it says like, okay, I know there's been minimum requirements of donors for, the 40,000 is whatever. That's a number that I think any person running for president should have to get. It's a big number. It's a very large number. In some cases, people don't even need to get that many votes to win offices. But again, it's when you look at the U.S. population of 300 million people, I think that's like a decent drop in the bucket. Where we get into the issue here is where it says at least 200 unique donors from 20 or more states and territories. Now, I just want to picture this, but like, let's say I'm canvassing for Nikki Haley or Larry Elder, and I am able to get, just through my canvassing alone, let's just say 10,000 people in California to donate to Nikki Haley or Larry Elder or Tim Scott. And after they get these 10,000 donations, which is 1/4 of the number of unique donors that they need to qualify for debates, McDaniel and the rest of the RNC stooges sit back and they're like, well, this person was able to get well beyond the 40,000 unique donors need to qualify, but their donors only came from 19 different states or territories. Why does that matter? Like I can't think, and maybe I haven't been as well versed in debate requirements, but as far as I can tell, that wasn't a requirement in 2016 or for the Democrats 2020. They had to think about having a certain number of unique donors, but like I said, that didn't stop anybody, and I sure as hell didn't see anyone saying your donors aren't from this many number of states, so you can't participate. That's weird. Like, I don't care what way anybody slices it. When you have some states where people don't even know who you are because of, there's just no way they would or reason they would. It's gonna make getting involved just that much more difficult. Like when you add just like another unnecessary requirement, that's strange. The other part of this is where they get into this loyalty pledge. Now, I'm a big opponent of this, and I was really happy that Trump didn't put his hand up to pledge during the first debate, and I remember that was in August of 2015, because I don't think a party should be able to tell candidates, like, okay, if you want to pledge that you don't do a sore loser campaign, you mount a third party bid, whatever, but you shouldn't be able to tell somebody that you have to endorse the person who, because for all you know, the person who eventually wins could be your exact polar opposite in every way. And I always remember when Ron Paul lost in 2012, he refused to endorse Romney, said there was no difference between him and Obama, and I respected him for that. And I don't think you should be forced to endorse or to otherwise support someone that you don't like. So that's that's a part I'm really not a fan of. I think that they want to talk about, oh, the liberals are taking away our free speech. You should have free speech as a presidential candidate to say, okay, I didn't win. The person who did win is someone I don't like, so if you don't want to vote for him, that's fine by me. You should be able to say that without any type of pushback from the party, or at least them trying to get you to sign a pledge that you won't say this or won't. That's stupid. But yeah, as things currently stand, I think Trump is a shoo-in to be in these debates, even if he probably is going to try to skip them. Also, the part where it said that you can't participate in debates not sanctioned by the RNC, that's also dumb. Because, like I said, candidates for any office, especially for president, they should be able to talk to and go wherever they want and speak in whatever format they would like. If we're truly in a supposed democracy, like, it's one thing to say, okay, as a candidate, we want you to, like, affiliate with the party, so maybe you'll come to our events more often. But to say, oh, you can't participate in debates that aren't sanctioned by us, like, I mean, what, you own me now because I decided to run for president under your banner? So, besides that, I think Trump's going to have the easiest time qualifying. DeSantis is a no-brainer. I think he's going to get 40,000 donors, like that. But the rest of them, I'm not too sure. But like maybe Haley will get there, because I have seen her at like 4-7%. Like, at least when it comes to polling, I can see her getting there. But that 40,000 unique donors thing, I don't know if I can buy that one. Like, the problem for me is that most of these candidates lack name recognition. Nobody knows who they are. And in the case of someone like Pence or Christie, I don't think they could get 40,000 people to donate to them from 20 different states, not because they're unknown, but because a lot of people in their own party don't like them. So really the only two I can guarantee are going to be able to qualify for these debates are Trump and DeSantis, and maybe Haley, and the rest of them, I don't know. I don't know if Hutchinson can make it. I don't know if Scott can make it. I don't know if Elder can make it. I would literally donate to both Scott and Elder just to get them on the stage, because I want to see as many candidates on there as possible. Give them like $2, $3. But I think that's really crazy that they're really going, you must have 40,000 unique donors from 20 plus unique states, and you must also sign a loyalty pledge. Like, get out of my face with that.